Growing up, an African mother will chase her own daughter, get hold of her, beat her mercilessly, grind pepper and ginger together, put it into her vagina, close her legs so tight together no air gets inside or out. All because she sent her and she refused. All because she didn't do what she was told to. The guys, they were told men don't cry. They should suppress their feelings rather. Where had this gotten us? 20, 30 years later, 40, 50, even 60 and almost dying, we are enduring unnecessary pain. Stupid pain, unhealthy pain, pain that are killing us inside. Last time I talked of personality disorder. This is how some of the traits of these people with personality disorders are born. But if you are above 18 or let me say 22 and you are still enduring unnecessary pain and you are not educating yourself about personality disorders, then welcome to this channel. Take a moment, subscribe, share, comment, like, and just let's start to release ourselves from unhealthy and toxic relationships. Last week, we learned about the 10 personality disorders that exist. Today, I am going to break it down into the categories and we'll start showing you some of the characteristics of these personality disorders. Bad parenting has led to numerous personality disorders, mostly in African society. And because we don't want to see it clearly, so we do something about it, we blame it on witchcraft. And today I am here to put light on some of the obvious things that are there that we can take into our hands and change. They've been grouped into 3 categories: cluster A, cluster B, cluster C. So with cluster A, you have the paranoid, the schizoid. In cluster B, you have the antisocial or antisocial. You have the narcissistic, you have the histrionic, and the borderline. In cluster C, you have avoidant, dependent, and obsessive compulsive personality disorders. So, to make things simple, the cluster A is what we call mad. Cluster B is what is bad. It's bad for the society. Cluster C we call sad. So you have the mad, you have the bad, and you have the sad. None of this is good, but if correctly diagnosed, you can do something about it. But when it comes to the cluster B, it's like something of take your bag, pack your things, and let go of this person, because mostly they don't even see. They don't accept the fact. They don't take it in like there is something wrong with them. So if a person says there is nothing wrong with me and I'm not ready to change, it's up to you if you want to stay. And I understand why some people want to stay, because there is some kind of dependency. Maybe you're having kids with this person and he is having the black card. So, some of these politicians and their wives, they can't go because, you are going and he's going to get some people to hunt you. But we will come to that. And we have the cluster C, which are the sad people. I just want to give you some examples so you know how important it is to learn about personality disorders. After telling you about the personality disorders, I will then go on to tell my story and how I wasn't really protected from becoming mentally ill, to show you how close and how lucky I got and what I did right, because most often we think we are okay. But when it comes to these personalities with the cluster B, it takes God a miracle. And insight, you will have to know what you are dealing with to be able to solve the issue. Because other than that, you will die a very sad, confused soul. The cluster A, those with the schizoid, the paranoia, they are mad. That's how we call them in the society. Or that's how the psychologists and psychiatrists call them. Like, this cluster A is seen as the mad people. So mad, we all know, oh, they are mad. No, we just have to protect ourselves somehow from them, and we know what we are dealing with. But the people who are bad are the psychopaths, the sociopaths, or narcissistic personality disorder, and then you have the borderline personality disorder. And these four are bad, antisocial. They are not good for the society. These people lack empathy. They lack remorse. They will just use you to their advantage. They will stab you in the back. Now let me just give you an example. So you might have a friend. That friend will sleep with your husband, with your girlfriend. And if you happen to catch him or her and you try to talk about matters with them, they'll look you straight into your face and what is it? Deal with it. They don't feel what you feel, they lack empathy. They just do anything they want for themselves. So the psychopath, sometimes some people take risks that are dangerous, but they are doing it anyway. They break laws, they break moral codes, they do illegal things. Some of you will be like, oh my gosh, he just used me for documents. Yes, he did. He might be a psychopath because he is just in for his advantage. That child, it has got nothing to do with love. He just wants the papers, and that's what he wants. So a guy may date you, and you think he's sound, everything is okay. He just probably dating you maybe just for the sex, not more. So instead of blaming it on a witch that you are married and you are not having kids, gosh, your husband might be a psychopath, a narcissist, suffering from borderline personality, so they lack this kind of attachment and that they never ever intend to have a baby. And if you don't know, you might be thinking there is something wrong, whereas they know what they are doing and you don't know. But because you can't just go out there and diagnose people because you are not a psychologist and psychiatrist, you will have to sit down and learn the patterns, how often, what do they do? There is something about it, For example, if you're dating a psychopath, if that person, you met him and he's saying, yeah, I went to school, I graduated there, and I worked there, I'm a banker and I'm a lawyer, and then they are just, you never meet a family member. That might be a psychopath there, because what psychopaths do is they change their identity. When they see you, they are telling you something different. So they don't want you to meet that person. So the person will tell you a different story. So if you have a partner and he never wants you to meet his friends, that should ring a bell. But like again I said, there is a pattern that you need to carefully follow. But before you can do that, you will have to educate yourself. Get to know of the personality disorders and learn for yourself. Gosh, if you come into contact with one of the bad, I pray you find peace within your soul and that you find a way out. And these are psychopaths, the serial killers, those you see on the street in Africa. Munchino, those people who start hitting the people first with that stone, you think, oh, you wouldn't even see, because they lack this kind of remorse. And it can be any gender. They'll be killing the person right in front of your face, and you'll be like, oh, how'd you? They did it because they don't feel what you feel. They lack empathy. And that person might be having cocaine in the bag and would just walk through the airport as if nothing is on him or her, and you'll be like, oh, no. He lacked that sense of, what makes you, that thing that goes up within, like, oh, danger. They don't feel like you do. So if you make the mistake and you follow that person, and it's up to us. I know so many people are suffering under the cluster B. Mostly African women are suffering under cluster B. Recently, I was watching a video, and I think that was, ex-girlfriend, because I think she's given birth to twins, and she was describing her relationship, and in fact, she was describing a covert narcissistic personality disorder. Did she had a clue? I don't believe so. She was enduring because. But if what that lady is saying is true, he is a narcissist, and she has no other choice than to pack her things and run, because he's not going to change. So this is my message today. We have the mad, we have the bad, and we have the sad. The sad is like the depressed, they are constantly in a mood that they are down-spirited, not ready to do anything. They don't socialize that much. The mad is obvious. The sad is okay. But the bad, take your shoes and run. And if you can't run, educate yourself about them and change your life for the better. Don't blame it on witchcraft, because it isn't. And if you don't change something, you will have history repeating itself in the life of your children, because they will be learned by observing. So keep that in mind. And because you've learned today, teach somebody else. Show this video to somebody. Recommend it. Thanks so much for listening. Like, share, subscribe, and see you next time. Bye.